Thank you very much. I think comprehensive immigration reform is a relevant conversation in any committee, especially when you're talking about jobs and the United States economy. I would recommend that all members of this committee read the real reports that say that if we pass comprehensive immigration reform, we'd be looking at over 120,000 new jobs a year for many, many, many years to come. And those are American jobs. So comprehensive immigration reform is as much about putting Americans to work as it is about working on how do we deal with illegal immigration or undocumented people in this country. The first question I'd like to ask, and it's relevant to when it comes to minorities, is Ms. Martinez, when it comes to Hispanics and energy, and it seems that the projections are that Hispanics and energy are probably going to be toppling 20+% of the participating workforce going forward, yet when it comes to the management and above, we're talking about less than half of that. How do we make sure that we have a better representation in this particular industry workforce when it comes to Hispanics? What do we got to do?
Well, we have to certainly raise an awareness of that. And Representative, as you might recall, I was served on the Michigan Public Service Commission. So during my tenure there, I didn't see any other Hispanics in the management or in the industry ever sit across the table from me. And so that experience itself, it was the reason why we helped work and put forward the efforts with Hispanics in Energy, because we believe it is important at all workforce levels. And we need to make sure that we are training individuals and actually talking about energy jobs. That holds true for jobs dealing with skilled labor and for even jobs in management and in other positions, whether they're finance or other industries. When we talk about energy jobs, they're not something that many students at all want to talk about. Recently, I just came from Philadelphia, where we did a community engagement there, and we worked with middle school children in a Big Brother, Big Sister program, but asking them how many of them wanted to have a job in energy, only 2 raised their hand. And there are many other jobs that are much more attractive and sexy in general. And so it's bringing back why energy is so important to this nation and how jobs at all across the array in it can be so important and valuable for our community. And that's where we have to do a better job.
Thank you. Mr. Rowe, you touched on something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is that 3.5 million want ads in this country go unfilled on any given day. Yet at the same time, we have just over 4 million chronically unemployed in this country. So it really comes to the gap between the people who do want to work and the kind of jobs that are available in their community or in their surroundings, and or the skills that they perhaps already bring to the table in the job that they either want or feel that they're qualified to do. So there seems to be a mismatch of people who want to go to work and the kinds of jobs where people say, well, I'll give you this job if you have these skills, et cetera. And for example, there's a bill that a Republican congressman and myself put together called the Worker Mobility Act, which basically has zero impact on the United States budget and would actually allow us to have people, if they can get a letter saying that I will hire you if you move from Los Angeles, California to Dallas, Texas, I have a job waiting for you because you have the skill set, and if you want that job. The problem is people don't have the funds, if you've been chronically unemployed, to have those moving expenses. So that bill would actually solve that worker mobility problem that we have in this country, where we have 4 million chronically unemployed on any given day, yet 3.5 million want ads go unfilled. So to that point that you made earlier, maybe we need to be focused on how do we market, or how do we get more people to attract themselves to get retooled into some programs or apprenticeships or what have you. Can you expand on what you said earlier?
Sure. You got to make skill cool. You have to make it cool. The largest STEM event in the country was held here this weekend. I had an honor to speak, do a panel, take a pavilion. I think 350,000 kids showed up, their families, and they took a big tour of some of the greatest careers available right now, science, tech, engineering, and math. But it's ironic, half of those careers involve skill, and yet skill doesn't appear in the acronym. It should be STEMs, right? And so that was sort of my message there, because to your point, skill is not only a great destination and a great way to make your living as a vertical, it's also a great way to get to maybe where you want to go within these STEM careers. There were astronauts here, for instance, long lines of kids waiting to talk to the astronauts. I got in the line, I talked to the astronaut, and I said the same thing you just did. I said, I just checked the want ads, man. They're not hiring for astronauts right now. How do we make sense of this? But if you talk to them a little bit further and work backwards in their career, you hear a story about, well, most of these people ultimately brushed with mechanical engineering, and most of those people initially had a welding torch in their hand. So suddenly you're talking to an astronaut about welding, and to a kid's brain, all kinds of things start to happen, and you see a path. So rather than skill over here and everything over here, it's just like clean, dirty, blue collar, white collar, skilled, unskilled. We fall over ourselves to make sure we've got the right category. It's a waste of time, and it's ultimately, to your point, counterintuitive.
Thank you. Before I yield back my time, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask Mr. Rowe a quick question. When are we going to see a segment of Dirty Jobs on a member of Congress?
With respect, some jobs are simply too hideous to contemplate.
I yield back my time.
The chair appreciates